Welcome back to the Pig Trail Show. It is time for our Hog Hoops report with Kevin McPherson. He joins me right now over the phone. And Kevin, let's talk about this week for Arkansas. It was full of wins for the Razorbacks this past week. Started things off with Auburn, and I'm not going to lie, that game did not look promising early on.
It didn't. And when you're coming off back-to-back road games where you got beat by a combined 47 points, and then you fall down by 19 in the first half, you start to, basketball's a long season. You're certainly not giving up on the season, but as Hog fans, you got to be wondering what's going on. And Arkansas answered the challenge, down 12 at halftime, outscored the Tigers by 14 in the second half. And you look at a game like that where your leading scorer, Moses Moody, has a season-low 5 points, and it tells you the level that everybody else stepped up. Of course, Moses played a good floor game, but his point production is obviously counted on. And the Razorbacks did what they had to do, I thought, defensively. Made some adjustments on the talented freshman guard, Sharif Cooper for Auburn, in limiting what he could do, the damage that he could do. Then Arkansas just started going to the basket, only attempted 5 3-pointers and really found ways behind Desi Seals, who loves to play Auburn. 22 points for him after scoring 23 in the road win. And guys like Jalen Williams and Devo Davis obviously stepped up and had good second halves as well. But that turned things around for Arkansas because if you looked at it, that was the start of 4 out of 5 SEC home games in a row, with the lone road game being Vanderbilt, which we're about to talk about. So you had a chance to really set things up for yourself to get back not only in contention in the SEC, but protect what you had built winning your first 9 games in terms of the analytics and get in your resume looking good for postseason.
Well, like you mentioned, they went and then played against Vanderbilt in what sounded like a completely empty arena, but they pretty much controlled that game from start to finish.
They did. Vanderbilt has only won 3 games in the SEC going back to the end of the 2017-18 season. And they came into the game having been competitive in SEC games, but they were without 3 scholarship players on Saturday, including their second leading scorer and the top rebounder, one of the better forwards in the SEC, in Dylan Dessou. And really, Arkansas, I thought it was going to be a toss-up game, but once I saw the news Saturday that those players were going to be out, I knew Arkansas would probably find a way to command that game, and they did. Give Vanderbilt credit. They stuck in there for a while, but Arkansas, you never felt like Arkansas was in real trouble of letting go. And, the Hogs had a 10-point lead at halftime, more than doubled that up for the final margin. And, you look at a bounce-back game, if you want to call it that, for Moses Moody, 26 points, a game high, and that was a game high as was his 8 rebounds. And then, you look at Jalen Tate, 25 points, a season high for him, and a game high 8 assists, a game high 4 steals, and only 1 turnover. And then Justin Smith, just his third game back, 12 points, did a good job on the glass, 7 rebounds. And, if you look at his contributions for Arkansas and just that short time after being out 4 games, after having a surgery, I think it speaks a lot to what he means to this team. And really, the way that trio played in that win, Tara, kind of took me back to last season when you had a trio that you could count on in Mason Jones, Isaiah Joe, and Jimmy Witt Jr. Mm-hmm. I don't think 3 players on this Arkansas team has played as well as that trio did in one game when it matters and in league play. So maybe that's something to build on because you've got leadership in Tate and Smith. You've got a one-and-done kind of talent in Moses Moody. This is something to build on moving forward.
Well, moving forward, like you mentioned, we've got Ole Miss coming to the Hill this week on Wednesday. What do you think about this matchup?
Yeah, Ole Miss, started slow in league play, similar to Arkansas. That team has gotten well quickly, has won a couple of games, I think 3 games now. And when you look at Ole Miss, it starts with Devontae Shuler, all-SEC guard, Romello White, the transfer from Arizona State in the front line. But Arkansas's at home, and Ole Miss, again, is one of those teams that when you look at the pecking order in the SEC, not in the top half of the league, and it's the first of 3 consecutive SEC home games now for Arkansas. There will be the Big 12 SEC Challenge, which is a road game for Arkansas against Oklahoma State next Saturday. But wrapped around that, there's 3 straight SEC home games. It's Ole Miss, and then you've got in that mix A&M and Mississippi State, all winnable games. Arkansas is really, after all it had been through a week ago, is now sitting pretty. First 2-game winning streak of the season in SEC play. The Hogs can build on that.
Yeah, well, I think they've definitely got their confidence back. So hopefully they can hold on to that this week against Ole Miss. Kevin McPherson, thanks so much for your time. That's going to wrap up our Hog Hoops report, though. We'll talk to you again next week. Well, we'll be back with more on the Pig Trail after the break.